Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for returning. And if this is your first time through, the name of my channel is From a Ray Ray to a Henry. I'm Unc L. You call me Unc for short. Rest in peace, Pops. Today I'm reacting to a video compilation from two guys. Dennis Sperling, Esquire, recently inducted to a Hall of Fame for lawyers at his alma mater. Congratulations. And a cat named the Medium Man, as in small, medium, large. Although this cat ain't medium, he look like he'd get a Hulk and run for his money. Go check out some of his workout videos. I work out 5-6 days a week. This guy's, man, he makes me tired just watching his workouts. Lord have mercy. Y'all go check him out. Frequently, you will hear the lovely ladies in the Black community say, there are no good men out here. There are no good men out here. All the good men are locked up. All the good men are locked up, and the rest of them are gay. The rest of them like men. They don't want me. Well, today, I'm going to present in this first video, because this is going to be a two-parter. I don't want it to go too terribly long. It's going to be a two-parter. In the first video, I'm going to present the stats on, Mr. Sperling and the Medium Man are going to present the stats on what the actual incarceration and college rates are. A lot of people might find this shocking. Not me. I mean, because, I'm in these spaces. I know that there's a propaganda war against black men in this country. It has been and always has. We've always been the boogeyman. And it's a shame that the lovely ladies of our community have bought into the propaganda. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get into the reaction.
Just to be an updated video version of the statistical readout that is debunking the fact that all black men are gay or in jail. So first, I want to read you the comment that this young woman, and trust me, this is not the first, and it definitely won't be the last. This is what she wrote under one of my posts that had absolutely nothing to do with prison or black men being gay. She said, Medium Man, and what percentage of black men are in prison, dead, not into women? That's our fault too. Oh, that's right. Single black moms, y'all are ridiculous. I don't know what made her write that. I'm not sure, but I actually decided to give her some education. However, I've yet to get a response. And I always have these readily available because it happens so often that I have to have this stuff saved in my notes just to make sure I'm able to cut and paste and see what happens after that, right? So this is what I wrote. How many people are locked up in the United States? The U.S. locks up more people per capita than any other nation at a staggering rate of 573 per 100,000.
And what's funny is I think the U.S. has like 3% of the world's population. China has something like 4 times our population at 1.4 billion. India has more at like 1. I know it's over 1 billion. I can't remember the exact number. Yet per capita, we have more people incarcerated. Funny how that works. It's almost like if you monetize the prison system, the government will figure out a way to get more people in prison. Let's continue.
Residents. But to end mass incarceration, we must first consider where and why 1.9 million people are confined nationwide. So if you put things into perspective, let me make this make sense. If we have 332 million people in the United States and there's only 1.9 million people incarcerated, what does that tell you? I actually did the number for the total number of people incarcerated on probation and on parole. It's 5.7 million. There's 332 million people living in the U.S. So remember, this encompasses men, women, children, so on and so forth. So that number equates to 1.71% of the U.S. population. And also,
notice if you pause right there and read that frame, that's not just black people. That's a total of everyone incarcerated in the United States. Let's continue.
We're in prison. That's still not much of a dent for the total black male population of about almost 20 million. So the narrative that half, all, majority black men being in jail is just not true. I'm reiterating these topics because they are important, especially since the political season is coming up. So you're going to hear people try and gaslight the Black community by putting these numbers out here. You know, Black people only make up 13% of the population, but they're 38% of the prison population. What does that mean? Why don't you give them context and tell them how many Black people are actually in prison? And I'm going to give you guys those numbers right now. Together, these systems almost hold 2 million people in 1,566 state prisons, 102 federal prisons,
hard numbers,
2,850 local jails, 1,510 juvenile correctional facilities, 186 immigration detention facilities, and 82 Indian country jails, as well as in military prisons, civil commitment centers, state psychiatric hospitals, and prisons in the U.S. territory. So that's key there, because typically...
Now I'm going to freeze that right here. I'm going to pause right here. I don't know how to freeze. But if you're watching the video, if you look at the number, 38% of Black people are locked up. That number equates to, that's like 720 something thousand. But that's just not Black men. That's all Black people. That's Black men and women. 700,000 out of 20 million Black men. Excuse me, 700,000 out of 40 million Black people. 700,000, and of that 700,000, the majority of it are men, but you're still talking about a number when compared to the overall population of 20 million. I mean, you're talking about, oh my God, that means something like 98% of all Black men are free and walking around. Let's continue.
When people try and place this narrative that all Black men are in prison, they compartmentalize prison. What I just read off to you guys is everybody that's in confinement. So this is just not prison. This encompasses everything. That 1.9 million is everybody, not just Black people, the whole United States population who are confined.
I've been living with this my whole life. More Black men in prison than college. Y'all heard that? It's a lie. It's a lie from hell. I've heard that my entire life from politicians, pundits, even your dumbass ex-president said it. You know, you have Black president that seem more white than Black sometimes. He said it when he was a presidential candidate. Barack Obama said to the NAACP, we have more work to do. We have more work to do. We got more Black men languishing in prison than attending colleges and universities. No,
that's a good impression.
It's just not true. The raw numbers show that enrollment of Black males increased from 6,930,044 in 2001 to 1,445,194 by 2011.
I got to stop right there. Basically, what he just said is from 2001 to 2011, in 10 years, the number of Black men, I'm going to round these numbers up because I'm not going to do all that. The number of Black men basically went from 700,000 enrolled to 1.5 million enrolled in 10 years. And this number comes from 2011, 13 years ago. You know them numbers are higher, and not included in these numbers are the number of men that are going to trade schools. I got an HVAC certification. We're not counting plumbers. We're not counting dudes that studied got certs in masonry, electricians, carpenters. We're not counting those numbers. We're out here doing it. Let's continue.
By contrast, the estimated 2 million inmates held in state and federal prison or local jails, 841,000 of those men were men. So you got damn near twice as many black men in college as you do in prison. And this is back 2011, 2000.
There are twice, by 2011, there were twice as many black men enrolled in college as there were in prison. But you ladies can't find a decent, good black man? Or maybe y'all are not attracted to decent, good black men. Let's continue.
So now it's even more. Now they're saying there's more than 150% of black men in college. 150% more black men in college than in prison.
He ain't lying.
It's falling short. This is good news. But they don't talk about that.
Excellent. No one talks about it.
And that's something we need to deal with.
All right. Let's continue. So if you look at the mass incarceration, the whole pie, 2022, you guys can visit this this website. It has all the information that you need. It's called Prison Policy. They have everything for you. It says 38% of...
Just to stop. I hated to stop right there. The reason I like the Medium Man is a multitude of reasons. The main reason is when you go to his page and you click one of his videos, go into the description, he will have a link for every piece of material that he quotes. Every piece of material he quotes, you go to his page on YouTube, click it, and you can go find the exact studies and demographics analyses that he pulled all this information from. So if you still doubt it after reading, we're bringing receipts. We're bringing receipts, as opposed to the other side, which is bringing feelings and anecdotal evidence. We are bringing receipts. We're tired of these people slandering our names. Let's continue.
1.9 million equates to 722,000 black men and women incarcerated. There are 41 million black people in the United States. 722,000 of 41 million is 1.76% of the black population that is incarcerated. So, and it just doing my approximates, at the very most, it'll be 1.5% for black men, 1.4% at the lowest, because black men do outnumber black women in prisons, which every man of every racial demographic outnumber their women in the prison population. But again, only about 1.5% of the black male population is currently incarcerated. As a black community, 1.76%. It's very simple. Okay, says these racial disparities.
I'm going to stop right here. What he just said is roughly 98.5% of black men are free and on the streets and available. So what's all this half the black men and all the good black men are locked? No, just them miscreants y'all are attracted to and have your baby daddies and locked up. The rest of us are out here doing our thing. Let's continue.
Gotcha, bitch.
I put this post up earlier this week, or was it last week? And it simply said, this is what it said. It said the nation's imprisonment rate is at its lowest level in more than 2 decades. And the greatest decline has come among black Americans whose imprisonment rate has decreased 34% since 2006. And I got so much negativity from that. Y'all act like I was making it up. So I felt, I wanted to, keep things light until we got through with that first premiere of co-parenting with the Sperlings. But damn, y'all act like I'm just making it up. Sometimes I just pull stuff up and put it up there. And, hey, look at this. This is interesting. And like, okay, cool. But people were literally mad at me for explaining that the nation's imprisonment rate has sunk and that black Americans' imprisonment rate, which really means black men, has decreased 34% since 2006.
So in other words, The number of us in prison is going down, while the number of us enrolled in college is going up. Our numbers are trending in a positive direction, but that's not talked about. If let it be told by other groups other than black men that are out here telling our story, it's still 1982. We're still in the midst of it. Wow, this is just shocking to me. This is shocking to me. Because if you go by what's on TV, if you go by what's on social media, you swear up and down that we're out here, that we're just Kaiser Sose. You understand? We out here Lex Luthor. We're just super villains. No, that is propaganda. Unfortunately, it seems like the ladies of our community have bought into it. Let's continue.
Why would you be angry at that? Here it is right here. This is from the National Institute of Corrections. Okay? Here it is right here. Here's 2000. Look, Blaque. Look at that. Prisoners per 100,000. Adults aged 18 and older in each group. In 2006, it was 2,261 people per 100,000. The majority of that is going to be black men. And now it's 1,501. And it says, shout out to Jerome Payne. Thank you so much. But here's what I also want you to understand. If you really add that up, even at its height, you only got a little over 1% black men in prison. Somebody type 1% in there. Do the numbers real quick. You got 20 million black men. 20 million black men, and 2% of them are in prison, more or less. So really it's 2%, 2.2%. About 2.2% at its height. Now it's 1.5. So out of 20 million black men, these lovely ladies have been telling us, oh, we can't have that 2%. You got 100 dudes up in here. You got 100 men in here. There's 100 men in here. And you telling us that because one is missing, you can't find no man amongst the rest of them. That's what you telling me? Think about that. So right there, we just, blowing it. We just destroying the narrative.
And just to reiterate what Mr. Sperling has just said, out of 100 dudes, only 2 of them are locked up. Only 2. So you mean to tell me out of the 98 that are free, you can't find one good man out of 98 left to pick from? Or maybe some of y'all have messed y'all lives up so bad, those 98 don't want anything to do with you. They're avoiding you. Who knows? Let's continue.
The U.S. justice system controls about 5.7 million people, more than half of whom are on probation, right? 5.7 million of 332 million U.S. population equals 1.71% of people, not just black men, are either on probation, in correctional facilities, and on parole. So there you have it, guys. And these are the graphs that they use to break it down. And it shows you how many people are locked up by state prisons, local jails. They have the federal prisons. And this is just basically showing you what they're locked up for. You have drug, public order, property, not convicted, convicted, marshals, convicted, all that type of stuff. Immigration, drugs, everything is in here. This is a simple Google search for people, but for some odd reason, the women in our community love running with this narrative that all black men are gay, broke, dead, or in jail. So women's prison populations have grown faster than men's, as I stated before. After peaking in 2008, women's prison population have declined less than 5%. After peaking in 2009, men's prison population have declined almost 12%. Wow. There's something. So I told you guys. And this growth was measured from 1978 to 2019, if you guys can see that right there. So y'all have the information out there, and I'm going to go straight in before I get to the comment section.
And with that said, I'm going to end it right here because the next part has to do with the LMNOP numbers. And those are just as shocking and surprising in a positive way towards black men than one would imagine based on the rhetoric that we get from black women on social media. Thank you for stopping through. I hope this video was informative. I hope you can pull something from it. Please like, please share. If you get into an argument with somebody that wants to tell you what black men are and black men are this and that, go to the Medium Man's page, go to Dennis Sperling's page, or come to my page and show them the stats, show them the videos. I prefer you go to Medium Man page because he has the actual links to every statistical demographics piece of information that he presents. He is thorough with it. You can't refute it. If you want to argue with the government that the government bureaus and the universities that assembled all this information. Yeah, go argue with them because we're just presenting the facts as they've compiled them. With that said, like, share, and subscribe. Part 2 coming soon. Thank you for stopping through.